Good afternoon, Coach Kelly here with one of my very best clients, Carlos Lopez. Carlos and I just started working together on the training side in the last handful of weeks, but we really had not touched on his nutrition yet. Today I'm going to take him through a formal nutrition consultation, and then I will have homework to do on the end of that, and then he and I will get back together and go over that. But bottom line, he's going to have an action plan moving forward. So you're seeing this raw. This is what I do with a brand new nutrition consultation. So Carlos, what are we trying to accomplish with your body?
We are trying to get a little bit more lean, but a meaty lean, not a skinny lean. If that makes sense.
Okay. What's triggering this desire for change in you? What's the why
Other than my
behind this?
age?
Okay.
I've tried the whole recomposition thing before on my own, and that's very difficult to do. So I can shift some of my weight around from my midsection to my upper body, but I know there's a better way to do that, and that's what I want to try to accomplish. I just want to get a little bit leaner, but a meaty lean, not a skinny lean.
So what's been your struggles in the past? What roadblocks have you run into in trying to do this?
When I learned to work out, which was a very long time ago, I just learned the basics, and I can do the basics, which will build muscle. Building muscle on purpose for specific things is a little bit more difficult a task. And so as over the years, as I've tried to become more lean on my own, my idea of becoming lean is typically doing more aerobic exercises. Well, that's not necessarily true. So having the right workout plan makes sense, but if you don't have the right nutrition plan to go along with that, you're chasing your tail for a good while.
I tell my clients all the time, I don't care what you're trying to accomplish, building muscle, dropping body fat, any combination thereof, and that's where most people live. If your nutrition's not dialed in, you're wasting your time.
Yes.
I mean, you really are. You can just absolutely spin your meals. Nutrition is the hardest part, and it really is the hardest part. Coming to the gym a handful of days a week, even a few days a week, spending a few hours collectively, that's not that challenging. Managing what you put in your face from the moment you get up in the morning until you go to bed at night, that's where the rubber meets the road. That's the real game, and that's where most people struggle. How old are we?
We are 59,
When's your birthday?
January.
What's your birthday? When is it?
January,
But when is it?
during the month of January.
Well, mine's in the month of January.
On the 28th.
We are very close to each other, 19.
Okay.
So we're very close. What do we weigh right now?
I weigh on just a normal day about 170 to 172 pounds. The heaviest I've ever been is 178. And a good normal weight when I'm not going to the gym is probably about 165, 166.
Where would you like to be?
I like the 170, 172.
So the weight is fine.
The weight
it's
is
just
fine, yeah.
Recomposition.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I know your career is financial oriented, but tell me again what you do.
So I'm a partner at a firm that does financial planning.
Okay.
We do lots of retirement planning, retirement goals, that kind of thing.
So stress level, work included, but all life included, scale of 1 to 10.
Because I am part owner in the firm, the stress level there is very different from my old corporate life, which is why I now do this. So,
Seem to be pretty chilled.
yeah, work-wise, I'm not stressed out much at all. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being really stressed, I'm probably like 1 or a 2.
Okay.
And that's, like I cause my own stress.
That's awesome.
Normal life at home with my wife and my kids, even though they don't live at home anymore, no stress.
Okay.
So
you get a big gold star for that.
thank you.
And the reason why I'm asking that is I have stress and sleep back to back. Your body, stress is the enemy. When it comes to dropping body fat, stress can absolutely be including ending up with elevated cortisol levels. Stress is not your friend. A lack of sleep, which I'm about to ask him, people that really struggle with not getting enough sleep, that's a double stressor on your body. If you're under stress and you're not getting enough sleep, that's a problem. I mean, it's going to make it more difficult to change your body composition for the positive. So, how's our sleep? On average, how many hours?
I sleep like a champ.
Do you?
I can sleep for 6 hours and be pretty functional. I like to try to get in about 8.
That's
It makes me a happy boy.
The number that a lot of people are wearing, fitness trackers these days. Some are aware of the fact that they can track their sleep or not. I mean, some know that they can, but they don't. Bottom line, very few people go to bed at night and get up the next morning without waking up at all.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a trip to the bathroom, the dog barks, something wakes you up. And if that happens repeatedly through the night, that's costing you sleep. Your bookends may be you're in the bed for 7.5 hours, but if you're losing an hour in the middle in little small chunks, it adds up. It takes a toll.
Yeah.
So you would say that overall you're probably north of 7?
Oh yeah,
That's good.
I sleep very soundly.
Okay, that's awesome. You are blessed. You are blessed.
Yes, I am.
So what time do we average getting up in the morning?
I wake up around 5 o'clock,
Okay.
5:30.
So what's the first thing that food or drink that we put in our body?
Water,
Okay. What's next?
vitamins,
Okay. What are you taking?
just the multivitamins.
Multi? Okay. So then what's next?
Um,
And that's like shortly after getting up?
oh, that's immediately.
Okay, that's first thing. All right.
After that is breakfast.
What time we have breakfast?
Probably within an hour or so that I've gotten up. I usually get up, I have my water and my vitamins, I will take a shower and get dressed, and then I go downstairs for breakfast.
So 6-ish?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's for breakfast?
Couple eggs, 3 eggs depending. I love Triscuits.
I remember.
Triscuits and maybe some cheese, a cup of coffee, more water, and then depending on whether my wife has enough smoothie left in the blender for me, I'll have some of that.
So that's like random.
Yeah, it's not an everyday thing.
So she's making that for her.
Yes.
Okay.
And then it's protein powder and veggies and fruit.
So 2-3 eggs, Triscuit and cheese, coffee, that's your standard.
Yes.
And then possibly, okay. So then anything else that you might have for breakfast?
That's pretty much my go-to. I might have, if I have breakfast out, I might have a piece of toast, dry. I love bacon. Protein's my friend. So I might have some of that, but that's usually it. That's pretty much my standard.
Okay. So then what's next? Do we have anything in the morning before lunchtime?
I might have a protein bar.
Okay.
Um,
You still using the Builder bar?
I am.
So you might have a protein bar.
Yes.
So it's random.
If I'm not going to be able to get to work out until later, I'll have the protein bar. If I remember to put it in my bag.
Okay. So I know because your schedule varies. I mean, I see you sometimes earlier in the day or not, and that's driven by your work. So you're saying that depending on the time that you train, that drives whether you'll have that Builder bar, also based on availability, but
Yeah.
okay. What's the more common thing with your schedule? What's the more likely timing that you would come to the gym?
Kind of like a late lunch thing, probably 1, 2 o'clock.
So Builder bar and then gym follows that. Okay. That's kind of your preference. And then,
And I'm drinking water all morning.
okay, so you had the coffee at home, but then that was it on
Yep.
coffee? Okay, so gym, and then post-workout, I know you go in the cafe.
Yep. I have my protein shake when I finish my workout.
Which shake are you getting?
The one at Costco. That one.
Okay,
Not the one protein one with
Is it Orgain?
That's it.
Is it Orgain?
Yeah.
An Orgain ready to drink? Just a little individual?
No.
Oh, you're buying the tub.
Yeah.
So you're making that yourself and bringing it.
Yes.
You're being a Boy Scout.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. How many scoops?
2 scoops. I think that's 20 grams of protein.
Mm-hmm.
So I have that as soon as I finish working out.
So what are you mixing that with?
Just water.
So it's just Orgain and water. Do you have that mix at home or are you doing it here?
I'm mixing it here. I bring
Okay.
it in my tumbler.
And you
And
just
then I
add
just
water?
fill
and-
water. Yeah.
All right.
Shake it up and down it goes.
Okay. But I know you still go in the cafe, so what are you
Yes.
doing in there?
So when I go in the cafe, hopefully they have a banana. We can add a banana to breakfast too. If I have bananas, I'm gonna have a banana.
All right.
So I'll have another banana. I might have some nuts. I always have some chicken breast. Just plain old chicken breast with a little bit of barbecue sauce.
And you get that there,
Yeah.
because they usually have the chicken breast.
20, 25 grams of protein depending on the size of the little tub there.
Now, the banana and the nuts you're bringing from home,
Banana and nuts I get here
you
from here.
get both.
So there's an antioxidant nut and fruit package that they have.
I got you. Okay. They change the menu just ongoing, and so I don't always keep up exactly with what they have in there. So shake, yours, banana nuts, and chicken breast.
Yes, sir.
And that would be pretty daily deal. Okay. And then dinner at home?
Dinner at home, typically an early dinner. So I've always been big on salads. So I have some kind of protein with a salad. Typically it's chicken breast or tuna, solid white tuna.
Albacore?
Yeah.
Okay. Where do you get that?
Costco used to have a great deal on those.
Costco's is good. I like their.
Not so much anymore.
Has it gone up?
Oh yeah. So I kind of look around, but I stick to the albacore.
Okay. So salad, protein, either chicken or tuna. Ever any cooked vegetables?
Sometimes, depending on
But
what
you- but you
I'm
like your
feeling.
salad.
I love my salad. Yeah.
Okay. What do we use for dressing?
Italian dressing, balsamic vinaigrette, either one of those, or just plain old oil and vinegar. I don't like the cream-based stuff.
Okay. Anything at night? I mean, anything post dinner?
I try not to eat another something at night. I might have another power bar.
A builder bar?
Yeah.
Okay.
And depending on what we're up to, I might have another cup of coffee with my wife before we go to bed.
Really?
Yeah.
And that
I
doesn't-
drink coffee for the taste, not for the caffeine effect.
But does that not get into your sleep? Apparently not. You said you sleep like a rock star. That's amazing that you can have coffee that
I've
late.
been drinking coffee since I was a very little kid, so it doesn't bother me.
No issues. So the builder bar is optional at night.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What would you say on a weekly basis? How often? I mean, what percentage of the time you're actually having that?
Maybe 2,
Only 2?
maybe 3, depending. If I've restocked my my builder bar stash, maybe 2, maybe 3.
Okay. Where are you getting those?
I haven't found a great place to get them. I just pick them up at Kroger most of the time.
Okay.
Box.
Do you check to see if Amazon's any better deal?
It's about the same.
Okay.
It's about the same.
Okay.
They'll melt less if I pick them up at Kroger.
It's true. Because especially now. So if we switch places and you told me what the area of opportunity was, what would you say?
To tweak my meals, I would say that in terms of the protein intake, I'm probably okay. I could probably increase it a little bit somewhere. Probably be somewhere before lunch or before the gym, I would say.
So let's say if you look up on Mother Google recommendations for protein, there's a lot.
Yep.
But what Lifetime teaches or promotes and if you just kind of boiled all that you did online down to one, somewhere around a gram per pound of ideal body weight. I say ideal,
Okay.
lean body weight.
Okay.
So, and even at 170 pounds, we still have some body fat on us.
Oh yeah.
So if we just whack that off down to, I mean, we can be pinpoint precise with the in-body, and we can do that after this. But, I mean, just even 150 grams, just as a,
Okay.
as a target. So, are you more likely to have 2 eggs or 3 eggs?
More than likely 2 eggs. If I'm feeling pretty good, I'll have 3.
So we'll say we give you 2 is 14, right? Builder bar is 20. The Orgain shake is 20. Chicken breast you said was 24.
20, 25. Yeah.
I'll give you, say 20,
Okay.
just to be conservative. And then what would you say your portion at night is? You know, ballpark ounces.
I'd say it's probably about 20, maybe a little bit more.
Okay. And then if you did have the other bar at night, that's that. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 114.
So I'm about 20, 30 off.
Yeah, it's big.
Okay.
Now, how would you see solving that?
Well, we've identified that maybe at breakfast I could do a little something more, so I'd either be more consistent with the egg and or introduce some other type of protein.
How do you eat those?
Either hard boiled or over medium.
So, as in kind of like sunny side up? Same thing?
Yeah, kind of, but more over medium than sunny side up.
So, a little bit more cooked.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So, have you ever added egg whites, additional egg whites to just your eggs?
I have.
Is that a yay or a nay?
I have. I don't do it consistently.
But in terms of taste and or like, is that a
Egg whites don't taste like
no, no?
anything. And the way I do it usually is I'll grab an extra egg and I just weed out the yolk and that's
So one option is you could keep your 3 eggs,
it. Okay.
and that's 7 right there.
Okay.
And then if you were to add a half a cup of egg whites to that, that would be another 12.
Okay.
So 12 and 7, that's basically another 20 grams.
Okay.
I mean, so that takes that 114 to 134.
Okay.
And then if you take your Orgain shake, it's really simple. And you do 4 scoops, just double it
Oh,
to 40 grams. Now we're at 154.
at lunchtime.
And that was 2 tweaks.
Okay.
Half a cup of egg whites and 2 scoops of protein powder. And being consistent with the bars.
Okay.
That's the other thing. This would not be random, this would not be random, it would be every day.
Fixture.
But what do you mean? Because that's 114 a day, 154 a day, that's 2 different numbers.
Oh yeah.
And you need that. Protein is the most stimulating to our metabolism, and I mean, almost every metabolic process that your body does internally, it's driven by protein. And so most people don't get enough, it's very common. But you can see there's a big difference between,
Sure.
in that 114 is based on getting those 2 bars in.
Okay.
The reality is you're only doing that 2 or 3 nights a week. You take that bar away, we're under 100. So there really is a big gap between. How do you feel about having 2 bars every day?
I don't like things that are super sweet.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I've stuck with these bars because they don't taste like cardboard, which is a good thing. But it's a little bit on the sweet side. If there was something different that I could do, I'd probably do that. I just haven't found the right substitute.
So even for that nighttime, we need 20 grams of protein.
Do a shake.
It's 2 scoops of Orgain, and you got your 20 grams. And it's a lot cleaner. I say cleaner. It's cleaner. It's a lot lower in calories. That Build-A-Bar is what, about 280, and the 2 scoops of Orgain is 140, 60, something like that. So it'd be quite a bit less. Your carbs would be less. Your fat would be less.
Sure.
And having that as an evening snack, I mean, that would be, it's something. Gets your protein in, but I think it'd be more favorable than having the 2 bars every day. Because They're pretty high in carb content.
I would agree.
You have them the one in the morning. I'm good with that. But
Okay.
I'd prefer you have that shake at night. And I say shake. It doesn't have to be your full blown shake.
Yeah.
I will send you the image I created. I wrote a blog entitled "The 135 Calorie Solution," where I did this old school. I did this 20 years ago. At the time, I would get up and have coffee in the morning first thing, go to the gym, post-workout shake, eggs and oatmeal mid-morning, say on average, some kind of lunch, protein, veggies, carbs, shake in the afternoon, dinner, like lunch, and I'd have a couple of scoops away about an hour before going to bed. Different schedule back then where I was staying up a little bit later and I had that room. I'd take those 2 scoops away and about a half a cup of almond milk and mix that up and put that in the freezer for 30-45 minutes and let that kind of sit up. Now it's not ice cream,
It tastes pretty good.
but it's pretty good. Now then modern day, because I didn't know about this at the time, casein, and when I wrote this blog, it was based on using casein. Are you familiar with casein versus whey? So they're both from milk.
Okay.
But casein, it's like, have you ever used cornstarch as a thickener
Yeah.
for cooking? It's like casein has built-in cornstarch. I mean, it's so, if you take 2 scoops of whey, or I say 2 scoops for the 20 grams, 1, but you take 1 scoop of whey and you put that in a little bowl with a half a cup of almond milk, it's gonna be soupy. I mean, just pour
Sure.
that right out. You do that with casein, you have a hard time stirring it up.
Huh.
That's how it's like it's got a built-in thickener.
Okay.
So it almost makes instant pudding as it is, because your almond milk is going to be cold. Put that in the freezer for 30-40 minutes, it hardens up or firms
Sets up pretty nice.
and you've got like a little protein ice cream thing.
Okay.
It's not bad.
Okay.
So I mean, that's a thought of something
Sounds like
that
a treat.
you can have some fun with it because there's different flavors. Now go back and remind me, because I haven't clarified why we're using. So the Builder Bar is vegan, and the Orgain is vegan. I've been meaning to ask you, do we have a problem with dairy?
I tend to have a problem with dairy.
So casein's probably not your friend.
Probably not my friend.
However, you could do the same thing with the Orgain.
Okay.
I mean, you could do the same, because I know I'm kind of in between. I use both because I'm a little lactose intolerant. I use both Lifetime's vegan product, our vegan protein, and our whey. But I use them both so that I'm not just relying on whey. And my shake in the afternoon is using the vegan.
Okay.
And when I'm at home and I have the opportunity, I will make that like a Wendy's frosting. I mean, I make it, and that product works great. I'm not saying it's as thick as the casein, but you could use that. You could play with your ratio of how much almond milk. I mean, we can figure that. But you could do that. You could have some fun with that.
Okay.
But I like the idea of you having that at night more than the protein bar, because it would save you calories.
Sure.
So, who's multis?
Lifetime.
You are using ours.
Yes.
How long have you been using those?
Probably for about a year.
Okay. But nothing else from us? Or no other supplements is what I meant to ask. What's
Just
that?
the fish oils,
So who
but
are,
not
okay.
Lifetimes.
Who are you using?
I have no idea. I got a friend that brings me some from Mexico every so often, and I just store them up.
Okay.
And when I don't take them, I feel the difference in my body and my joints, and so I
So
don't skip it.
in your mind, what benefits are you receiving from fish oil, based on your knowledge?
My limited knowledge, the well-oiled feeling that I get in all of my joints, my ankles, my knees, and my shoulders mostly.
So, correct. Brain health, heart health, anti-inflammatory throughout, joint health. Fish oil is a rock star. And you don't get it. You're getting omega-3 fatty acids. What you get from fish oil, and or if you eat a pound of salmon every day, it's not the same as the omega-3 fatty acids that you get from plant-based sources. So olive oil, avocado, nuts, seeds, etc. Yes, they have omega-3 fatty acids. Chia seeds are like ridiculously off the charts.
Yes.
But it's plant-based. I can't, it's EPA, DHA are the fish, and I think I forget what the plant-based acronym is, but it's like 3 mega long words, but it's not the same. And it's not the same in what it does for your body and your body's capability of taking a plant-based source and converting it to, it's a very, 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 very poor process. I mean, like you can start with this and you end up with that,
Right.
to put it simply. So your fish oil is your friend. You definitely want to keep taking that. I would love to see what that product is,
Okay.
because not all fish oil are created equal.
I would agree.
Depending on sourcing,
Mhm.
where they're bringing it from,
Mhm.
just the distance in the say the transit,
Mhm.
it can make a difference in potentially the product going rancid if the transit time is really, really long. And then also, what fish are they using? Larger fish like salmon, you have a higher likelihood of mercury contamination.
Mhm.
You don't want that.
I have no idea. I just know that they sell this at the drugstore in Mexico. I don't.
So your homework can be to shoot me a picture of that.
Okay.
I just like to check the name. I'll do the heavy lifting for you.
Sure, absolutely.
So Maltese fish oil, and that's it.
That's it. Right? Drink lots of water.
Okay. Have you ever heard of benefits of probiotics?
Yes.
So what's your knowledge on that?
So, I was introduced to doing a cleanse, probably about 7 or 8 years ago. And I try to do a cleanse like every 6 months. And that cleanse typically includes the probiotic with some type of, what's the other thing that they put into those capsules? Looks like Metamucil. Looks like a bunch of dried leaves is what it looks like.
Probably some kind of, I say fiber supplement, but to help you go.
Yeah. And it works wonderfully. Typically, it's a 10-day process. There's one that's a little bit longer than that, but because I think I do it often enough, some people don't ever do it.
Right.
It works great.
So the magic of probiotics is, I mean, you can get in the same way that you can get your omega-3 fatty acids from, say, salmon, but who eats salmon every day? I mean, most people don't. You can get probiotics from different foods like yogurt. But, say if you're lactose intolerant, which you are,
Mm-hmm.
that would not be a good play for you.
Mm-hmm.
But the benefit of probiotics is all about gut health.
Mm-hmm.
And the vast majority of your immune system is housed in your gut.
Mm-hmm.
And so just to protect your overall immune system, so gut health, think maximizing nutrition that you're taking into your body. So if your gut health is optimal, you're gonna get the most out of your food. But then also, literally your gut is like 80%, that's where your immune system is housed. So keeping your immune system running. So just for planting the seed of at some point you wanted to add, absolutely maintain the fish oil. And I'll check you can send me a picture and I'll just give you my 2 cents worth on that.
Okay.
But then something to consider if you want to add to adding a probiotic, those are big 3 that I recommend to all my clients. I take all of these. I took these before I came here, and I switched to ours because of the quality of the Lifetime product, and they are really, really high quality. So I'm going to take what we did today and put this into a nice format, and then I will email that to you, and then you and I will set a time to get back together and go over that. Do you have any questions for me?
No, that's perfect. Once I get the information, we might have a couple questions then.
Okay. Well, then I appreciate your time.
My pleasure.